Hey, I'm Amber with Mom Life at its finest, and I'm so glad you're here, but I wanted to sit down today and just pour out my heart and share something that I think is so important for us moms to remember. And this should be something that we know, but I know that we also just fall into this trap. That is of thinking that the grass is always greener, right? That someone else has it all figured out, or that our situation would be so much better if we just had what we see some other mom having. And I'm finding that temptation, that comparison trap is so much more prevalent for me these days, with everything going on with quarantine and the uncertainty over school starting. And some schools are doing online learning and other schools are being in person, and everybody is trying to navigate these very difficult times, these very uncertain waters. And there's just a lot of mom shaming going on. There's a lot of just turning on each other. And then even when we're not being vicious and everybody's sort of, being nice to one another, I think internally, I at least, and I wonder if you are the same, it's just so easy for me to be my own worst enemy and look at other people's situations and think that would be ideal, right? That, it would be amazing if my kids were a little bit older right now, because then quarantine wouldn't be that big of a deal. They could sit down and do their school lessons all by themselves. I wouldn't have to actually sit there and, monitor every little thing. And if you didn't already know, I have 3 adorable, sweet, wonderful young boys, but they're ages 6, 5, and 2. And so they can't learn on their own yet. When we had to do e-learning, it was so intense because we had one iPad for my 2 boys to share. They were in 4K and first grade. And then I needed to be constantly helping them, directing them while entertaining a 2-year-old. And it was just crazy. So it was really easy for me to think, it must be wonderful for people with older kids right now. Their kids can just occupy themselves. Or I fell into that trap of thinking quarantine would be amazing for someone who didn't have kids, because now you suddenly have all this time on your hands to do whatever you want, to relax, to just, binge watch Netflix or whatever. And we know that's not true. We know that no matter our situation, we are all looking for something else. And that is the trap. That is what I want to talk to you about today, because I notice it in myself. I know the damage that it has done to me psychologically and how unhelpful it is for being who we want and need to be for our families. My point, as off track as maybe all of this sounds, my point is just that we have to be so careful not to miss the wonderful reality that we are living in. Yes, it feels hard. Yes, it's overwhelming, especially if you are in a similar situation as me and you have really young kids and you have lots of kids and you're also trying to work outside the home or even from home. All of us mamas work our tails off. And I'm just so tired of the labels and the division and the constant comparison, whether that's something that is externally imposed on us and we as moms feel these high standards and this pressure to be so perfect like everyone else, or whether it's internally, something that we put on our own shoulders and think to ourselves that we have to be a certain way, or that everything would be better if X, Y, or Z. The grass isn't always greener, right? Don't we know this by now? We know that everything has its blessings and its challenges. And the more that we refuse to see the good that's right in front of us and just accept our realities as hard as they might feel in the moment, the more we are missing out on this chance for joy and connection and for just really making the most of these fleeting moments of our lives. This has been so heavy on my heart lately. And like I said, I'm just really feeling it a lot right now as we are coming into the end of July, early August, trying to think about what the fall and the whole school year looks like, because My life has always, well, at least it's having kids, right? My life has always been intense. I don't know exactly what word to put there, but it sometimes feels like more than I can handle because I had 3 kids in 4.5 years while working a full-time job as a tenure track professor. And so as a little side note, if you're not already following me on my other YouTube channel, Solutions for Simplicity, check that out. I'll link it for you in the description. But that's where I share videos all about the time management and productivity tips that I have both learned the hard way, as well as from years of academic research into what is scientifically proven to help us do what we have to do faster. But my point is just that, work-life balance is so much of a struggle, no matter where we are. And even if you don't work outside the home, you have so much that you need to do and so much that you want to do and so much that you feel called to do. And trying to fit all of that in, trying to balance all of that is hard enough, even in quote unquote normal times before this pandemic started and we all just have gotten thrown into the whirlwind of uncertainty. And so anyway, I'm trying to figure out how I can be who I need to be for myself, for my family, and for my job when I don't know the answers. I don't know if my kids are going to be able to go to school. I don't know if I should send them to school. I don't know. It's just, all of us need to try and put our little blinders on and not think about those what ifs as much because it's not doing us any good. What I want to work on is living in the moment, being so much more present and intentional and purposeful, both with what I am pursuing, with how I'm spending my time, with how I am showing up in my life. And that grass is greener mentality is the enemy of everything I want to be about. It is exactly what I should not be doing. So if you tend to do this too, if you found yourself thinking thoughts that I have had, like everything would be so much better if X, let's make a pact. Let's stop that. Let's acknowledge that we have those thoughts, right? But that they're not helpful. And if anything, they might be really harmful because it leads us into that comparison trap and it just puts extra weight on us that we don't need to have. Thank you for listening. I apologize for rambling on, but I want this entire channel to be about inspiration, exasperation, and hacks to make mom life the best it can be. Mom life is crazy. It is so its own thing, and none of us could have known until we became moms. But for me, everything that I am experiencing and learning on my mom journey makes me so passionate about connecting with other moms who get it and trying to motivate and inspire other moms who are struggling because, oh my gosh, I have struggled all these years with so many things. And I shared this in my other video that I'll link for you up in the cards. There are struggles. But ultimately, I am trying to I'm trying to really internalize this perspective that our struggles will actually be the source of our strength if we let them. And this feels like a struggle right now. Everything going on is something that I am just putting down in my little journal, my life diary of the hardships I've gone through. And I also know how good I have it too. So I don't want to be missing how blessed I am. So anyway, all of that to say, if you're not already, subscribe to this channel. Please subscribe down below. I make new videos twice a week or more. And I just love connecting with you. Thank you so much. I'll talk to you soon. Have a great day and no more grass is greener mentality. Give me thumbs up if you agree.